So there's this trend going on in Duel Links, as you can see when you toggle the popular cards filter. Every single top deck is a rank 8 strategy. So Tachyon is obviously a rank 8 deck, Photon, rank 8s, Red Eyes are also making rank 8s, Blue Eyes are also making rank 8s. I guess at the very bottom you can see like Dark Magician, but that's whatever. But the thing about rank 8s is that there is this little engine that you can play in every single deck that can make rank 8s, which uses dragluxion to add Primal, right? And then Primal add the Counter Trap, and then use the dragluxion to make Harbinger, and then use the Primal plus another level 8 to make Galaxy Eyes Photon Lord. And this is 3 negates, and that's really, really good. Any 2 level 8 monsters can make Harbinger plus the Transmigration negate, and any 3 level 8s can make that plus Photon Lord. And those are like really good interruptions as well. So that's like the main reason why people are playing this package, is that these 3 interruptions are really good interruptions because all 3 of them are negates that also remove the cards on the field. I guess if like Photon Lord doesn't negate and destroy, but if you really want to negate and destroy and you have like the extra deck space, you can just play a random Galaxy Eyes card in your extra deck, and then when you go and Dragluxion, you can attach another guy. But no, wait, that doesn't even work because it's a warrior. Never mind. So this doesn't negate and destroy, but it doesn't negate monster effects. This negates and sucks, which is like that. Like the suck isn't it doesn't mean that it's bad. It literally sucks. It sucks the spell card and puts it under it as material. And Transmigration is just the most ridiculous counter trap ever printed. It negates everything in the chain, shuffles the negated cards back. I don't think there is any other counter trap that is better than this one. And so this like rank 8 package is basically like Alkdon in TCG or Master Duel, but less generic because you need level 8s. But it's the same idea, right? You're playing bricks in your deck, you're playing 1 Primal, 1 Transmigration, and then you can convert any like 2 level 8s into 3 negates. Any 3 level 8s to 3 negates. But it's even somehow better than Halcdon in terms of like the bricks that you're playing, because in Halcdon the 2 bricks are hard garnets, so if you draw them the combo doesn't work. But if you draw the Primal or if you draw the Transmigration, it's completely fine because you're just adding these cards into your hand throughout the combo. So if you draw them, it's just 1 less card in your hand, but this combo it still works. But there are also some like disadvantages of playing this combo instead of, you know, just making a Photon Lord or just making a Harbinger with the 2 level 8s that you have on your field. Is that, you know, say with Halcdon, you're playing 2 bricks, even though, as I said, the bricks aren't that bad because if you draw the bricks, the combo still works, but you're still playing 2 bricks, and if you draw the bricks, it's still less cards that do things in your hand, and the bricks are not good going second because, you know, if you go first, you can still use the bricks to do your combo in your hand, even though it's, you know, less cards in your hand, but when you go second, it's just dead cards in your hand. And also, this package is like extremely bad into pretty much every hand trap. Like, it's bad into Valor because the Valor or Imperm on Dragluxion is really devastating. It's bad into Nibiru because even though you make Photon Lord, it's like way past your 5th summon because Dragluxion can tag out, but it can only tag out into Dragon Xyz, so you're forced to only tag into Harbinger, which cannot negate the Nibiru. So, like, you can't even make the Photon Lord early. You are forced to like the 3 level 8s, right? 3 level 8s, that's 3 summons. Dragluxion 4th summon, and then you summon the Primal 5th summon, and then if you go Nibiru, everything's gone. So Yeah, so this combo is just really bad into every hand trap. Even roll, right? Roll is kinda okay. Like, you can still make the one Harbinger, but you lose out on the Photon Lord and Transmigration. So that's still not ideal. And also, the thing about playing this package is that you can just play Galaxy Photon, which is a deck that does that, but even better. Like, it doesn't go through dragluxion, so it's better into every hand trap. The end board also has Soul Flare, it also has Hyper Galaxy, so it's even more interruptions. So it's just pretty much better in every single way than just playing the package. But, I mean, it is kinda worse in a way, I guess, going second compared to some other decks that can jam this engine and have better in archetype options going second, which we'll talk about right now. So, realistically, is this package a problem? I think, like, in a competitive sense, the package in terms of power level, it's not really a quote-unquote issue, because of all the things I've talked about. Like, it's giga bad into hand traps, and also you're playing breaks, and also the package is only good going first. But I mean, the package is just boring, if anything, right? If every deck that can make 2 level 8s is like converging into this exact same end board, it's kind of boring. And the board that this package makes pretty much is, like, the thing about all of the decks that make this package is that they pretty much share this one weakness, in that if you are able to out this board with, I don't know, like lava golems that everybody is playing, as you can see, top 3 cards in ranked right now, you know, if you just lava golem their board, they literally just lose on the spot, because usually when they try to make this board, they are sacrificing a lot of like follow-up or a resilience to different types of interactions. So if you just get to lava golem their board, they just lose on the spot. And now let's talk about the 3 decks that are the main 3 decks that use this package that are good. So like other decks like Ancient Gear, like as you can see right here, technically can play this package, but I don't think it's optimal, so we're not going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the 3 main decks that can play this package that are good. Number 1, Punk. Punk is a deck that plays a generic skill. Like, there is a specific Punk skill, but nobody plays that skill because it is not good. But Punk gets to play all of these like broken generic skills, like a Precious Cards of the Dark, which just draws 3 cards, or a Princess Adina's Protection, which draws 2 plus it gives you a free body on the field. So these Punk lists are really good at pretty much digging for non-engine. So these decks are better going second than some of the other decks that we're going to talk about, because it just gets to play all of the best non-engines like Lava Golem or Droplet or Eclipse or whatever, and then they can just like draw into it with their skill, and that kind of patches the issue of the deck not being that good going second. And then the going first board is kind of covered with the dragluxion package, right? And also, if you go second, you have this option of making Psychic End Punisher, which is just like a big bozo that's just really hard to out and wins the game against a lot of decks. Okay, deck number 2, Red Eyes. Red Eyes is kinda interesting because the package in Red Eyes isn't like the biggest issue. It isn't the biggest annoying thing about the deck. The deck gets to make a Dragoon, which is like the real reason why the deck is good, because Dragoon kind of like patches a lot of the weaknesses that the package has, because if you make Dragoon at the very beginning of your combo, it just insulates your end board against hand traps, and Dragoon kind of negates stuff that the package cannot negate, like Photon Lord doesn't negate and destroy, but Dragoon can, and also Dragoon is just harder to out than the other stuff, and Dragoon is better going second. Like Dragoon, yeah, Dragoon is just really good. which is like the reason to play Red Eyes. And the final one is Blue Eyes. Blue Eyes can also make this package work, but Blue Eyes is just not very good compared to like every other deck I've talked about, and like the Galaxy Photon or like every other deck, because the only thing that's the reason to play Blue Eyes is Majesty of the White Dragons, which is the thing that they can search going second. But once your opponent has a way to play around Majesty, if they can like negate it or they can protect your stuff from it, you kind of just lose, because the deck itself, other than the pop from Majesty, is not very good at playing into a board, and also the deck isn't very good into hand traps either. Just in engine in general, even if you're not playing the dragluxion package, like Veiler on the Kyberman or Droll, it's just like Nibiru, it's really good against Blue Eyes. So yeah. So with that said, let's talk about how I personally would try to tackle this quote-unquote issue of every deck jamming the same rank 8 package, because to be honest, it's quite boring, even if it's, you know, it might not be the most optimal way to play every single rank 8 deck, but it is very boring, and it kind of forces every deck to play Lava Golem as like an out to this generic rank 8 board. So first of all, if we're trying to like limit the cards in this package, I think Dragluxion needs to be limited to 1, so you're pretty much forced to not play Dragoon. So you can't have like Dragoon alongside all of this ridiculous rank 8 stuff. But if you actually look at the decks that are playing this package, they actually don't play a lot of cards that are limited. Like the only cards that are limited are exactly Harbinger and Transmigration. Like if you actually look over the list that people are playing, that's like the only limited cards that they are playing. So even if you limit every single card in the package, they can still just play the package and not change anything on their list, because they aren't really affected by the things being limited anyway. So the only thing that you can do to kind of stop this from happening is to limit the cards within the package to make the package not be able to be played the way that it is. But if you do that, that kind of also hits Tachyon as well, because Tachyon also just plays this package natively. So if you really want to like limit the cards, or the best I could think of is Dragluxion to 1, and then Harbinger, Transmigration, and Primal all to limit 3, so you can't play generic good stuff like Book of Eclipse if you decide to play this. And then maybe you have like Droplet or Lava Golem also limited to 3, so you are forced to choose between them. But that's kind of a different issue of if you want to limit Droplet or Lava Golem, or like the other good stuff that people are playing as generic non-engine. And then maybe you want to limit some other stuff in the decks that could make this package to limit 1 or limit 3, so you're forcing them to not play this package. It's really annoying. So what realistically is a much better option to tackle this is just have more restrictions on skills to stop them from making this package possible. So because they have to go through Primal, and Primal is a main deck monster, you shouldn't just have like skill restrictions that stop you from summoning stuff except from the extra deck, like they have with a lot of the other skills. Because for whatever reason, for both Blue Eyes and Red Eyes, the skill doesn't really stop you from summoning stuff from your main deck. It only forces you to play like a specific amount of Blue Eyes cards or Red Eyes cards. So instead of just doing that, you can just also just stop you from summoning this during your own turn, so that even if they do play the package, they only end on a Harbinger pass because they can't summon the Primal, and if they can't summon the Primal, the Transmigration is offline even if you search the Transmigration. So like it's only gonna be Harbinger pass or Tachyon Dragon plus the Trap in Hand, which is just 1 negate. So if you actually lock them out of using the Primal, it actually significantly reduces the amount of stuff that they have in the end board, which I think is a pretty good thing that they can do. But that doesn't really solve the issue of like generic skills of playing this package, like if you play it in Punk, or if you play alongside like what's the skill called? The All Creation? Something All Creation, the one that searches anything from your deck when your opponent has a monster, right? So like the power of All Creation. So like if you place this card on your opponent's field, you get to trigger that skill to search anything. And if you kind of nerf all of the Blue Eyes or Red Eye skills, they can still play that skill and it's still annoying. So all in all, it's still like a really difficult package for Konami to try to kind of limit without directly hitting Tachyon as well. But in a competitive standpoint, it's not really that big of an issue. So even if they don't hit anything, it kind of is going to suck because it's boring and it forces players to play Lava Golem. But like if you play enough hand traps or things that out it, it's still not too big of an issue, like in my personal opinion. So yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about this matter. Let me know what you think, if you want this package to be limited, if so, how, or how you think skills could be restricted to not let them play this package, or even if you're fine with hitting this package so that it hits the package but also just hits Tachyon as well. But yeah, let me know what you think. As always, I'm just like a guy on the internet yapping about their own opinions, so don't take my opinions too seriously. I could be wrong on a lot of things, I am often wrong, and if you have like a different opinion, please let me know, I may change my mind. Anyway, thanks for watching, goodbye.